I want you to stop. Stop it right now. You have got to stop making excuses for yourself. No, seriously. Every day you are over here talking about, I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I get it. I get it. Because at the end of the day, if we keep giving ourselves excuses and telling ourselves we're not good enough for X or we're not good enough for Y, then girl, we never gonna do anything. We just gonna be the same old boring people. But we have to move ourselves forward. I would not be where I am today. And let me back up and tell you a little bit about me. Also, thank you for watching. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed yet. And it's great doing a YouTube channel, but it's not easy. It's hard work. So go ahead and like this video. That helps me get this video out to more people. That then grows my channel. That's when you help me. Okay? Mwah. Love you for that. Thank you. But let me tell you a little bit about myself and how I've gotten to where I'm at and where I'm even at. Okay? I used to fall through. Okay, we were poor as hell. We were living in my grandfather's home. And I would fall through the floor. That's how poor we were. Let me let you understand that now. Let me let you understand that concept. In Louisiana, we have wooden floor homes, right? Plywood, thin plywood. This house was like 80 years old. We were living in my grandfather's house. Is that the mosquito that's been in here biting me? No. We were living in my grandfather's house because my mom, her mother passed away and died, and she was taking care of my grandfather child. You know, black folks, we all take care of our people when they get old and sick and decrepit. We take care of our people. I don't know if people do that outside black people culture, child, but black folks love to take care of everybody. But it was all a blessing in disguise. Because I feel like if I wouldn't have moved to the country at that time, I probably would have been swallowed up by the city. So I grew up in this little old house in the country. I had very little friends in high school. I was a very alone soul. However, I did have cousins that really took me under their wing and nurtured me and were good enough for me to not feel so alone. Because my mama was at work after my grandfather passed away. She went to work because how else are we going to get food on the table? My mom had to work. She was making like $38,000, I think, maybe less. It was a very low salary. So we were still poor and we didn't have the money to get a new house at that time. So we just stayed in that house, and I am just like in awe and in shock that I went from that house to college, from college to LA, from LA to New York. Like, that is just a figment of how you can persevere through things. Because I said, I'm not going to go back. I said, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to go forward. You have to trigger your brain and trick yourself when you're in a point or at a point of just, oh, hallelujah, Lord, what is going on? You have to think forward in order to move forward. If you don't, you won't. And that's what we don't want. So I'm always a forward thinker. I'm always thinking ahead. I'm always thinking about how can I maneuver to get to X, to get to Y. Mary, Peter, Paul, who I gotta rob, not rob, but you know what I'm saying. It's like you have to, as an adult, think ahead. You cannot think like this. You've got to think forward. And that's how I always do. When you think forward and speak it into existence, it happens. So I just want to encourage young people, people of color, gay black folk, gay queer folk, don't give up. I know it's hard out there right now. I've been in those shoes. I've been in the hardness of it all. Like the stories I have of working in corporate in the major cities of America, child, I could write a book, and I am going to write a book eventually, of just stories about, you know, growing up, falling through the floor, then becoming a director. I was a director at MTV. I was the head of social at a major talk show. I then went on to make almost $200,000 as a director of social media at a Fortune 500. No, they are not Fortune 500. At a SaaS, SaaS company in New York City. Their headquarters was in the Empire State Building. That was crazy. So don't ever say that, if you're poor right now, you can't do that big thing that you dream to do. Because you can. It might take some while to get there, but you just have to keep thinking forwardly so that can happen. Because if you don't, you won't. If you won't, you can't. So I just want to encourage my following here and my community that is growing, thank you, to just promise yourself to keep thinking forward and not dwelling on the negative things that are in your life in the current sense. Because it's not going to be that way forever. It wasn't that way for me forever. And let me tell you, there were days where I was just like, what the hell? I cannot be this poor child. Like, there were days in LA where me and my friend, we were scooping together quarters and pennies and nickels and dimes to go get Jack in the Box tacos. Okay? There were days when we would go out to the gym bar, which is the gay bar in LA, and we would just stare at the older men, looking at them like, you better buy us a drink. Okay. Now I'm buying the drinks. Okay? You see? Everything turns around. And I'm okay with buying the drinks occasionally. Don't get crazy now. Not rich. Never will be. Well, you see, I'm saying never will be. I will be rich. One day. But it's how we use that money, right? That makes us rich. So I just want to, like I said, encourage you. I know times are crazy hard right now, to really just take a step back, assess your life, stop being so hard on yourself. You got this. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye. Have a great week.